Well, it's that time again, August, September, October. Going back on the cloud chart on the 29 crash, we have time similarities here in a fractal, and that's what happened in 1929. Okay, now on the SPX, again, we had a clear fractal top for the Dow. Again, the time similarities are pretty close. Okay, now going back down here again, I don't detect anything in a Dow in terms of fractal. Now, long term, okay, that's very rare that you can do that. You have to go down to the smaller time frames. The smaller time frames make the larger time frames. Now, on the SPX here, we have a clear fractal on the weekly time frame. Okay, I believe 4600 will hold and we'll have a correction. Now that's the top. Now, I found the top basic copy on the futures contract. They're both similar, so I would expect to turn down here. Okay, the 5-minute base equals the weekly top. That's the best effort we can do here. Now, in the meantime, look what happened. You have your base here, and it went right down. Okay, now if we break 4122, we'll probably have a crash. Looking at the weekly, here's the weekly. Okay, the similarity. We have a slider here. So Monday, if we hold that, we'll have a rally up. If we break that, we'll have a swing down. That's probable path. Now, one thing I want to mention, there is no right or wrong. Okay. If the market decides to go into another direction, that means another fractal on another time frame appeared. So it's not a right or wrong. Okay. The point being is that we have the top here and this turn down. That's on two different um, time frames and two different markets. Okay, let's bypass that for a moment. Now, here's the weekly SPX here. Okay, we have a clear fractal here, and then we have a slider bottom here. What that means, the slider bottom, again, if it holds and no other fractals appear, we'll have a bump up. Now, if it fails here, we're going to go back down again. Now, we'll take a look at the weekly, the big picture, and we'll compare it to the smaller picture here. And what I found, okay, again, only for a turn, the fractals give you a turn. Okay, that's it, period. And as we go back here in time on the 5-minute time frame, we're looking for a copy here. All right. Now, the only thing I found for Monday would be the slider here, bottom, meaning I think we're going to bounce back up here and then we'll fall down. Okay. That would be for Monday morning. And as we go back in time here, we can find other fractals which are pretty clear. Again, as you do this in time, you'll find the fractals just standing right out here. So for Monday, I think we're going to have a swing up, and if we fail, we'll go back down, and then we'll probably be in a crash mode, depending on what appears. Okay, so that's why you have to keep open all the time frames for a change in direction. Now this is a nice bottom fractal here. We've seen this fractal so many times. Okay, you should have it memorized by now. Equal leg, low dip, boom, back up. All right. That's what we're looking for in all the time frames. And the smaller time frames um, create the larger time frames. Okay, so you have to concentrate on the smaller time frames, and that'll give you a direction for the markets on, well, actually, on any market, any stock. I mentioned that before. Now here's a typical fractal top here, which is we only had a dip. It changed because another fractal on another time frame appeared. So again, you have to look at all time frames. Granted, it is time consuming, but after a while, you'll have all these time frames memorized in your mind. This one here, we've seen this so many times before. Okay, so right now I'm just saying that the imminent decline is approaching based on the time similarities on 1929 and 1987. And what we have is a similarity between the SPX weekly time frame and the micro fractal. Okay, let's go back here and see if we can find anything else there. Um, couldn't find anything except that slider. So this is, I think, what's going to happen for the week, or maybe two. And as we go back again, we're practicing on finding the fractals. Here's a common one here too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let's stop there. And here's another bottom here. And let's see here. And we're just going back and going back. That's a nice top there. Very common. Very common. And we're going back and we're going back. And all we do during the day, we look at the smaller time frames. You can go to Neil's channel. He's pointing out the 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute, 5 minute time frames, and those time frames comprise the larger trend. Okay, and what? Oh, this again, very common. You should have this memorized by now. Okay, that's a bottom fractal. It's growth fractal. Zoom right back up again. We've seen this so many times. You should have them all memorized by now. But it takes time to learn these. Here's a 7-up only for a dip. And pointing a couple others out if we can find it. But what I wanted to point today, again, um, on the longer time frame here, this is the probable path of the markets in general. Okay, each market is independent. They're all different. Okay, but if you find a similarity between the markets, it's going to go down. So what I'm looking at longer term, going into September, October, I think 4,600 is going to hold, meaning it's a turn. It could go up a little bit higher, which I expect on Monday. If not, it's still going to turn down from the 4,600. So I'm pretty bearish here, but we're going to have to wait for a good confirmation. Again, that confirmation would be 41.22 for the crash. Again, the 5M micro base equals the 5 year weekly SPX top. Okay, that's what it is all about. Here's the weekly top, and look what's going to happen, or what we expect to happen. And again, the larger time frames are comprised of the shorter time frames, which are more frequent. Again, I don't see anything in 23, except a similarity between the micro and the SPX. Again, here's the 1929 crash. That's a 7-up fractal right there. Okay, and that happened in September, and the big crash actually happened in October. So I'm inclined to think that's what's going to happen here um, on the Dow and the 1987 uh, crash here. Okay, um, that happened began in August of 25 and then in October. So I'm thinking probably sometime in October, that would probably be a good time to enter. I wish we had a clear fractal like that. And look what happened. Okay, but we can't find anything yet. But something may appear, and I'll keep scanning the time frames. Okay, and oh, this is for I believe on Monday. Okay, we have a similar. No, not a similar fractal, but we have a 7 down here, meaning we're going to have a pop up. If we don't pop up, we'll have a decline. Okay, that's on the 4-hour chart. And then on the 1-hour chart, we had a growth fractal. It already uh, rallied. And if it holds here, okay, we'll go back down. And then the 4-hour fractal will decline too. If we go above here, okay, on a 1-hour chart. That means the 4-hour chart will rally up to 4,500. Ideally, that's what we want. Okay, so we'll have to wait during the week to see if that happens. Here's the growth fractal going back up. Again, if we break support, we're going back down. That's a summary of what I think is going to happen in the weeks ahead for the markets. Hank Wernicke, see you on Sunday evening.